All right, here we go. Here we go. There was an audio bug. We got it fixed. We'll fix that in post. Good freaking morning. Welcome to Friday Morning Magic. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. I can't believe we missed a couple weeks. I cannot believe we missed a couple weeks. Man, that was awful. This is the most fun I get to have throughout my entire week, hanging out on the channel with all of you guys, chatting, having some fun. And we missed some weeks because things were so busy and crazy over the holidays and the blizzard and all the craziness. But now we're back and we have so much to talk about. Thank you for tuning in this morning. If you have not yet, make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you like this stream and share this stream, share this live stream right now. If you're here, if you're one of the early adopters, share this live stream on a social media platform, a Discord platform, a Facebook forum, somewhere where we can constantly grow the community, because the more people we have in the live stream, the more fun it can be. We've got a couple people live in the chat already this morning. Yoko, good morning. Yeah, we had an audio bug, but we got it fixed. Yoko, good shout out. Solid work. Appreciate you. Greg, what is up? Randy Wright, good morning. The Baron of TCG is interested in seeing the Invisible Ink card. Baron of TCGs, we're going to talk some murders at Karlov Manor today. I call it murders of Karlov Manor way too frequently. If you're in chat and you make that mistake, or if you mistake another Magic the Gathering set name, let me know. I'd be interested to know. We also have an opportunity to continue opening some sweet product for channel members, but we have options on this set. We could do Murders of Karlov Manor play booster for the very first play booster ever, or we can stick with the collector booster. So I want to get a gauge from each and every one of you out there and see what you'd be interested to see. We also have the debut. I'm going to drop you guys a link today of Cardboard Finance. We have Cardboard Finance up and running and ready to go. We're going to give all of you guys that information today. But without further ado, let's have our first official coffee cheers. First official coffee cheers of the stream. Here we go. Randy says crack collector. Baron of TCG says getting a bundle to check them out. Yoko says play boosters don't have commander card. I say collector for the larger card pulls. Now this is going to be throughout the week. We're going to offer the boxes for 2 channel members, like probably at a pretty steep discount as always. Geoff, what's up? Tell Lou to stop uploading the podcast during your live cast. Geoff, this is the only time I can go live. This is the only time that I can get away. It's before my workday starts. It's the only time that I can like set up and go live. And yes, I wish it wasn't during the release of the podcast. I absolutely do. However, it's when I got to go live. The only opportunity I get. My family is out and my daughter's at daycare. My wife is headed off to work. I don't start work for another, 30, 45 minutes. So I like to get out and have some fun with you guys and chat and go live. So Geoff, I wish, but hey, we work with the schedule that we have. And so here we are. We have a lot to talk about in the Magic the Gathering world today. Let's, without further ado, dive in. And we want to talk today, Murders at Karlov Manor, for sure. We'll probably look at some spoiler cards maybe later on into the stream as we get going. I do want to talk Ravnica Remastered. There's a lot of murmurs, rumors, a lot of discussion around Ravnica Remastered. I want to talk about some single cards. I want to update you guys with how I feel about the prices of some of these Shocklands, especially the ones I want to collect. Niran, good morning. Shout out to MinMax for the crazy little prices on Murder at Karlov Manor sealed products, especially those commander decks. Yeah. They always have low prices. They always try to be the most for the player store, especially in my area. So big shout out to MinMax Games for their prices, for sure. So we've got a ton to get into today. Baron of TCG says I'm not sold on the collector packs yet. Want to see them open. So let's start with the discussion about the differentiation between this product. And it was brought up earlier. It was, who was it? Yoko brought it up earlier about the difference between these products with the play booster and the collector booster, one having the commander cards and one not. So we'll start with Murders at Karlov Manor rather than Ravnica Remastered. Murders. Because when we start with Murders at Karlov Manor, we get to talk about the MVP sale and the absolute craziness that happened. Whew, that was wild. Yoko said, my wife just tried to quit her job. They came begging, what can they do to keep her? Said she only wants to work 3 days a week. Double or pay 20. They agreed. Holy moly! Big shout out. Congrats. Congrats to the Yoko P Loco fam. Laying down the gauntlet and getting it done. Big congrats. Hey, your Rockstar Energy cheers is met with a coffee cheers. Congrats. That's awesome. Oh man, I've got a lot to talk about. I've got a hot take. I've got a hot take on this card right here. This is a nothing burger. Everyone's excited about this card. This card feels very much like a nothing burger. It feels very much too slow to enable formats that aren't Commander and get anything done. Anyway, we'll get into all that in a second. Let's start with sealed product. And there's a differentiation in this sealed product. SideQuest Games and Collectibles, happy Friday. What is up? Thank you for tuning in and thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you. We have Murders at Karlov Manor Play Booster versus Murders at Karlov Manor Collector Booster. And Yoko made the important distinction. I've been talking about this on the phone with some friends throughout the entire week, that you can only get the Commander cards, the Commander subset, the Commander Murders at Karlov Manor Commander is only available in the Collector Booster and the Commander decks. It is not in the Play Booster. It is only in the Collector Booster and the Commander decks. And that, to me, is an important distinction. Wow. Look at this. Look at this. I wonder who this is. Hey. Who's dumping? Hey. Anyway, just kidding. It's really interesting to see how this is going to shake out with the products now more properly differentiated. They're very siloed into what do you want from the product experience, especially as we drop off and we lose the set booster and draft booster distinction. We go all into the play booster. I'm excited, but this product is on my list of products to watch for probably all of 2024. I almost said 2023, because my goodness, I don't get this product. I'm gonna say it. The Murders at Karlov Manor Collector Booster is something I don't understand. Don't get it. I don't like the special treatments in the product. The serialized cards the thing it has going for it, in fairness, the serialized cards in here are probably the best example of serialized cards. We've talked about this on the stream before, but if you are new, first of all, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. And if you're not, we have talked about the fact that I really believe that your Commander is a wonderful place for you to have a serialized card, because it's always out there. You always get to show it off. You can always be proud of it. You don't have to buy multiple copies of it, right? You can build multiple decks around that card. So it seems to fit. Having the Legends be serialized cards here seems to make sense. But the hidden ink version of stuff, like, I'm gonna close the poll. You got 1 more minute for the poll. I want to know what box you want to see open, but I want to know how you guys feel about the hidden ink, the secret invisible ink cards from Murders at Karlov Manor. I'm gonna get up a poll about that, but you got 1 more minute to go ahead and vote in this poll as to what you want available for the channel members, what you want to see opened on the channel. I want to know if you want collector boosters, if you want play boosters. What do you think our community would enjoy the most? What do you enjoy the most? Let me know by voting in the poll, and then we are going to get into the next poll. Right, again, I'm concerned about the invisible ink on this card. And just in fairness here, let's pull up. Let's go. Let's see if we can find some spoilers. Let's pull this up. Yeah, Yoko, big congrats. Finally gonna have time to do some order and chaos around the house. That's awesome. Congrats, Yoko. I like supporting my local store, so I go buy a bundle from them. It's a big thing. Treatments didn't really catch my eye. Yeah, listen, Baron, I totally agree. Yoko says the hidden ink looked cool when Louis pulled them in. Ooh, okay. All right, so hidden ink did look cool. I'm curious how obvious the hidden ink card looks. I would be interested. Now, some frames, the hidden ink card looks very, it like jumps out of the page at you. It pops out, and some just does not. Some is not necessarily the best. Where's that Karlov Manor? So we got to play. Not what I'm looking for. Is this gonna have the treatments? Let's see. Yeah, I don't think it will. That's fine. Let's find this. Isn't there an official Magic the Gathering release that showed it off. See if we can navigate ourselves to the actual Magic the Gathering here. First look at Murders of Carlo Manor. Here we go. I know somewhere in here we have the ink cards, and so we have a look at the. Let's take a look at a couple of the treatments. The docket treatment, or sorry, dossier. My apologies, docket dossier. I am not fancy enough as a human. I sit in my office surrounded by trading card games and drink boring black coffee. Like I can't say dossier. Just I'm not an interesting enough human. I might just call it a docket forever. I'm neither, let's be clear, but I'm far more cop than I am detective, if that makes sense. Yeah, if that makes sense to you guys. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the poll because I want to know what you guys think about the invisible ink treatment. And once I get this poll up, we'll address the other poll really quick. All right, go ahead and let me know as we look through the invisible ink treatment here. Let me know what you say. And it is, I am surprised that most of you want to see collector boosters opened on the channel. All right, we're gonna take a look. Maybe we'll look at getting a case of collector boosters. Here we go. Murders at Carlo Manor. Let's go ahead and kind of slide down here and find what we're looking for. I mean, how cool is, like, this art's pretty sweet. This art's pretty sweet. I know Wizards get banged on for their art all the time, but that art's pretty sweet. All right. Also, the first card that we got, Deduce, kind of a I just want to get to the special treatment. So, all right, we'll go in order. The showcase magnified treatment. This treatment looks cool. I will admit, I'm excited to see this treatment. I'm excited to pick up some cards in this. It does look neat. The frame of the art being a circle on a Magic card, I have to admit, it throws me. As someone who's been around Magic for way too long, this throws me off. Does this throw any of you guys off? This one throws me off. And here we have the docket or dossier, the dossier treatment. My problem with this is all the cards just look white. Like, I thought they just debuted a bunch of white cards. They did not. There's Rakdos cards in here. There's Simic cards here. There's Izzet cards in here. Like, I thought they just showed off a bunch of white cards. They're not. Crashing Footfalls. The special guests in this seem, let's call it interesting. We'll take a look at the spoilers and pull up some special guests in a second. But here we go. We're finally getting into what we're looking for. Here is the hidden ink. Let's see. Open video, new tab. Here we go. All right, so here's the hidden ink treatment in all of its glory. You see it's got a little shine to it. Looks like some of the foiling has a different metallic, shine to it in some angles, and some angles it doesn't. And then as we, what? Come on, play, loop, 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 loop. All right, and then here in the background is where you can see just for a second there, just for a split second, that hidden ink back there. Just for a moment, right? Just for a minute, you see that hidden ink back there. I don't know. This doesn't seem like something that's going to move a bunch of product to me. This doesn't seem like something that is really going to hit. This feels more, if gun to my head, honest opinion, this feels more like something like Gilded Foils, where someone like me will fall in love with them. It'll have a niche community that really enjoys it, but most people will maybe not get the full enjoyment out of this product. Like, I don't know, maybe. So that's the hidden ink. I don't know. Well, let me know what you guys think. Again, we still have the poll live. Make sure you go ahead and click on your answer in that poll. We have the hidden ink variant, and then we have the serialized card. And this is what I'm talking about, right? This is the benefit, right? Having a commander be your serialized card where it's out there all the time. This is the big win. This is something that I think could do better than we expect. This is, in my opinion, one of the more correct uses of serialized cards is especially in the commander space. But hey, I've been wrong on serialized cards before. I still think the Brothers War serialized cards are vastly underpriced. Completing a collection of that is still my goal. I still pick them up anytime I see them come off super cheap. Rob, boom, Sama just drop it by, drop a like and a comment for the algorithm. Of course, I have a busy morning at work. We'll need to come watch this one later. Listen, Rob, have fun. Thank you so much, and I'm glad to just be back. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for dropping a comment, Rob. Big shout out, and good luck. Good luck with your busy day at work. That sounds very stressful. I've had a lot of those recently, so I hear you, bud. I hear you. Okay, moving on. So the treatments on this, not necessarily doing anything for me. We got some clue rules that were leaked. It's Plane Chase. This is just Plane Chase, ladies and gentlemen. Who could have seen that? It's just Plane Chase. Detective as a creature type also irks me, says Randy White. Yeah, it's detective as a creature type would just be a human. Would you, like it's just a person. They are really like, listen, it does look great. This frame, if I had to pick a frame, is my second favorite frame of the release. It's not my favorite, it's my second favorite frame. My favorite still being, I think, the spyglass, the through the looking glass frame. But this product is holding at a good price for the collector booster box. Again, we look at this. Look at our boy out there getting it done. Big shout out to Louis, our boy, getting it done with the sales. Let's go, baby. Unless this isn't GameGrove.gg, in which case I'm shouting him out incorrectly. Whatever. Basic lands, the idea of serialized basic lands. Wow, serialized basic lands. That did break my brain. Sooner, you would think that they serialize everything, so sooner or later they'll do some serialized basic lands, maybe. All right, let's take a look at play booster prices as we kind of click through here now. We've got some stuff to talk about with play boosters, and if you are at your computer, you can finally go to www.cardboardfinance.com, and you too can follow along with the sweet data, the sweet information. I want to shout out, take a moment. This Data Vault project is now officially hosted by the members of Hometown TCG. The channel members right here are the ones supporting this application. They are actively covering a good portion of the hosting fees. They will get first say when it comes to what do we want to see on the application. And when we get authentication credentials and all that stuff done, they will get special access to behind the scenes information. You know, possibly if I decide to open up a blog post and write my thoughts on products, things like that, they will get access to all that. So if you want to help support this project, if you believe in this project, you want cheaper box openings, you want access to exclusive content, make sure you click the link and consider joining the channel membership, because that is how this all happens. Big shout out if you're a channel member of Hometown TCG, ever have been, ever will be. Big shout out and thank you for helping me make this happen, because this Data Vault project, having a complete history of something like the Brothers War as it has sold on the secondary market, having the whole story. Everyone says, oh, the Brothers War was a terrible product. Guess what? It wasn't. It came out to massive fanfare. It was Amazon dumped out of the ether, out of the ecosystem, and we have that history now. We have the price history of this product. Oop, that's murders. We don't want to talk about that yet. That's a surprise. We have the price history of this collector booster box. We can see how many sold in a given month and what the reflected price was. Having this snapshot, this actual view into the history of a product without losing that data is invaluable. It is something that I have always wanted to make happen, and big shout outs for helping make it happen. When it comes to Murders of Carlo Manor, however, this is an interesting one. By all metrics, by all possible numbers on the surface, this set looks like it's doing pretty well so far. Remember, release date's the 9th. We still got a couple weeks before release. Still looks like it's doing pretty well. However, we must remember the great dumpening that was. Hold on. At 129. Look at this. The dumpening at 120. Oh my God, there's millions of sales. It's crazy. All in the same day at 129. The big dumpening. The shout out to sponsor of the May the Zuby with You podcast, MVP Sports. And MVP Sports and Games. MVP Sports and Games is the lowest price again. They cannot be stopped. It shouldn't be. Here. Security certificate should not be thrown here. Look. View site information. Connection is secure. Permissions for this site. No, I think you have a cached version, my friend. Ralph, I think you have a cached version because over the last couple days, I have updated the security certificate. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, the murders at Karlov Manor dumping is something that I have to admit I didn't see coming. And the craziest part of all of this is probably the number of boxes that were sold at that price. So at $129.99, there were 2,112. Counted 2,112 boxes of this Play Booster Box 2,426. 2,112 of these boxes were sold by MVP Sports at crazy low prices. Now, here's the question. Here's the question as we find out that, wow, you guys are not a fan of the invisible ink treatment. We're on this stream. We are on the same page this morning. Holy moly, we are on the same page. Here's the next question for you guys, and this is the discussion point I wanted to kind of pop off here. Does the MVP Sports dumping Oh, that's a Q&A. Hold on. Here we go. Does the MVP Sports dump of play set a soft ceiling for the play booster? Meaning, do we have the price memory to always hold on to this idea of $129.99 play booster boxes? And when we see them at their current, we see them at, $142.49, sold by surprisingly the same company, but we're not going to get into that. When we see this, are we as consumers going to be like, no, remember, these are $130. These are not $142. These are $130. We know better. Is this going to set a soft ceiling for the product? What do you think in the comment section? I am super interested in how this product plays out. And it's weird because this was a wonderful opportunity for Wizards of the Coast and Magic to press reset, to be like, hey, no more set booster, no more draft booster, one play booster, one collector booster, plain chase, but not plain chase clue game, I guess. I thought this was a cool opportunity to reset, and I think they kind of blew that up. So TCG dumped MetaZoo, Fab, and now Magic all within 2 months. So the TCG, we can talk about the Fab one. I don't have any data on the MetaZoo one. I didn't think that was, and I'll just be frank, I didn't think it was worth the effort to track. But the Fab one is interesting because they artificially lowered the numbers after a certain day. They just kept lowering the numbers, and then when it got down to 25, they boosted it back up above 25, and it was very weird. But I have the actual number of sales, and out of the 1,500, spoiler alert, I think it says sold out or 25 left or something. It's not close. It's not close. So that was very weird. And then TCG Player partnering with MVP Sports to sell this at a lower price. Again, something I just, gotta be honest, I did not see coming. We know people are willing to pay. Wizards overpriced once again. We will buy just at the right price, and that's what scares me. It's when we do that. And Yoko, great point. You'll always been my stance on this channel, especially on products like this. We will let this thing sit, right? We'll just let it sit. And here, we can look. We have Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and the play booster, in my opinion, is far more, it's closer to a set booster than it is a draft booster, though it is draftable, obviously. But we have proved, if we like the product, this is for a set booster. Now remember, we have set boosters that are $89. We have set boosters that are $90 throughout the last year of Magic. This set booster is something that we enjoy. We love this. We love this product, and we're willing to pay for it. Look at this. it's constantly selling. In fact, it's selling at extremely successful rates. So we take a look, let's break open the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. We have a time capsule. We don't have to speculate. We don't have to be like, it's selling great, but how do we know? Direct comparison on the same platform to its peers. We know. Like, the set booster box, without a crazy dump, at essentially right now the same price, you know, $6 cheaper than the super sale of play boosters, sold slightly less than the same amount, like, or it sold more. It sold more products than the play booster has. Now, granted, this product's been out for a while. It's been released. It's got a very hot commander deck involved in the release. This is a super interesting kind of litmus test for Murders at Karlov Manor. So, looking at Murders at Karlov Manor, I'm interested to see. I want to know, again, we have the poll up. Make sure you vote. I want to know, does this create a soft ceiling? Does it create a soft ceiling for the price of this product? That's yet to be seen. But what is not yet to be seen is the average price of products. So here we have the collector booster box. This has been the average price paid on TCG Player. And as you can see now, the product is down in value right now. The cheapest sales at $218.92. I think it's sitting at $218, $217 currently for sale. In fact, hey, we don't still have it pulled up, but we can just go 2 buttons. Yep, $218.90, sitting at, you know, a fairly healthy price, sitting anywhere near $220. The question is, as we approach release, how quickly do they come down, and do we see these numbers pick up? Because these numbers for collector booster sales, not good. Earlier in the stream, remember as we take a sip of our coffee, earlier in the stream, we talked about, like, not really sure about the treatments and the collector booster, and kind of the breakdown on how they're making that happen. I think most people seem to agree based on those prices. Ralph says, must be one browser says expired on the 23rd. The other says it's fine. Yeah, whoa, that's weird. Ralph, if you want, reach out to me. Let me know which browser is which. I want to make sure that everything is up and running and smooth. Baron of TCG says the Fab Bundle was a fail. The price was a fail, and making you buy Blitz decks was a fail, for sure. You think they pulled the Flesh and Blood to save face? Probably. I mean, maybe. You never know what they pulled. Keith Foster, roll shutters, but electrician showed up. What? Keith Foster says, roll shutters, but electrician showed up the motors. I don't know what that means, but Keith, always good to see you on the stream. Nirad says, different question, but I'm curious what you think about the Ravnica Clue game. Potentially like they're innovating new... I like that they're trying stuff. I don't know how well this one's going to hit, but I like that they're trying stuff. I'm always down for them trying stuff. Brunson says, do you think Ravnica Remastered drops to $100 a box like Dominaria Remastered? Brunson. Brunson, I don't know if I've ever seen your name in the stream before, but big shout out. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for hanging out. Do I think, you have to clarify, are you asking about collector or draft? Because I don't think collector ever got that low. So I'm going to assume you're talking about draft. Let's take a look. Dominaria Remastered. Draft booster box. Maybe. So the draft could be the thing, because there's the conspiracy theory. Let's go ahead. Let's put on our conspiracy theory hat this morning, because why not? Because it's fun, right? Let's all slap our conspiracy theory hat on just for a good old dandy time right now. This product. Oh, I have the images for draft booster case and draft booster box. So ignore the X6 here. This is the draft booster box. The thing that they are going to, if they're going to have printed a lot of anything, it's going to be the draft boosters, right? Because the draft experience, the limited play experience for all of our remastered sets have always been incredible. If they're going to have limited the printing of anything, it's 100% going to be the collector booster. There's all the rumors floating around that's what went down and that's how this works. That's yet to be seen. It does seem to be. I was an early adopter of this. When this product came out and I was looking, someone who tracks a lot of serialized cards, so I always want to know what things are sold for. I was like, wow, there's a lot of serialized cards being sold. There's a lot of serialized cards being opened super early. Big shout out again. MinMax Games, one of my local game stores, opened a bunch of product. They're like, yeah, we opened a ton of serialized cards. Our numbers were crazy. And they opened a good amount of product to like give you a wide variety, a good dispersion, a good number there of boxes to compare against. So yeah, I don't know. Ravnica Remastered, That one's yet to be seen. Murders, I think, I'm going to end the poll. If you haven't voted, you got 30 seconds. 30 seconds to vote in the poll. You got 30 seconds. That's it. Because I want to talk about my take on the soft ceiling, possibly for the play booster. That, I think, is a really interesting conversation. Like, do we ever recover from that price? Near said it could be really interesting to come up with for the... It could be really interesting to see what they come up with for the Marvel crossover set. Could be really good format they invent for that. I think they have to. You have to reach out to as many people as possible in that Marvel set. That's a big moment for you if you're Magic the Gathering that Marvel set. All right, let's end this poll. What do you guys think? We got a pretty close one here. We have 55% of you say yes. We set a soft ceiling. 44% of you say no. Now, my take on this is, as a Magic community, we have a lot of things that have set soft ceilings in the past that we didn't think. I would be surprised if this is one of them. It's going to be, that sale is going to be a blip on the radar for this set. Here's the catch. Here's the scary part. Here's where, and I've never said this out loud before, so let's keep this take between you, me, and 20 of our closest friends, right? What if MVP Sports has a deal with TCG Player for every play booster release to offer a 2-day sale? What if they've got a contract for the next 6 to 8 months, right? Let's call it 6 to 9 months because it's funnier, to offer a $129.99 sale on every single release. Now we have a problem. Now we don't have a blip on the radar. Now we have something we as consumers are going to look to and be like, I'm not buying from anywhere else, because it's like what pre-orders became. I know it's going to come down in price. I know I'm going to be able to get it cheaper here through this medium. Is that, going to happen? If something like that happens, that's a problem. Wizards of the Coast at that point would have to step in, because at that price, game stores cannot sell online, and even selling in person, you're losing so much money. And big picture, the model's broken, right? Big picture, the model's broken. There needs to be more meat on the bone for the game store. I understand Wizards doing their price experimentation. There has to be more meat on the bone for the game store. The game store cannot survive at the margins that they're currently selling their most popular trading card games. They need more meat on the bone. It has to happen. That's why you see so many game stores pumping and dumping indies. That's why, scenes that you won't have an indie TCG scene, but you'll buy the boxes and you'll sell them online because it's a nice little profit injection. You're going to see that. What do I know? That's my opinion. Where's the Carlo Manor? I'm legitimately excited for this set. I think this set has a ton of fun playable cards. And obviously, I think it's got cards that are also going to be very good, right? I think the cards are going to be very good, but more than anything, this is a really fun looking set. I'm excited to dig into it, and I hope you guys are too. Again, if you consider joining the channel membership, you will get discounts on box openings. We have 2 Ravnica Remastered Collector Booster Box openings left on the channel. We have 2 of these left. I believe the price with everything shipped to your door is $249. I want to say it's $249. If I have a channel member in here that's bought a box opening, let me know. I have an invoice generated. I send it out automatically as soon as you email me. If you're a channel member, you want one, make sure you email me. I believe it's $249. If not, I will keep these last 2 on the shelf, because I really do. Maybe I'm wrong. I really believe in that product. And heck, maybe I'm just way wrong. That's totally possible. So, yeah. Murders at Karlov Manor. Final thoughts. I'm excited for it. I think there's a lot of fun stuff, but I want to know from you guys. Murders at Karlov Manor, are you buying? Are you playing? Are you going to enjoy it? What's your plan for Murders at Karlov Manor? And then let's take a sip of our coffee and let's talk some Lorcana and get into some indies, shall we? Neuron says some stores like MinMatch trying to match beat that MVP Sports price. They're selling at $128 now. I don't need to pay tax with them too, I believe. Yeah, like listen, there are stores that are going to try to match that, and it's going to hold on to that price, especially stores that don't want to be saddled with Magic in the long term. Stores that want to get their Magic in and put it out on the street. They want to sell all the Magic that they have as quickly as possible. It feels like you're going to have to play that game, and that's not a game that should have to be played. If there's enough meat on the bone, they sell at $129. You can match that price and not feel any type of way, not feel a strain on your business, things like that. We've talked about it. That will always be my big gripe here, is I can't have the game store have no way. Every game store in the United States sells Magic the Gathering. Every single one. If you walk into a game store, you can buy a pack of Magic the Gathering, and if you can't make a decent margin on that, if you can't make a living doing that and Pokemon, you are in trouble. Indies, the community, the love for the game, the spend is not large enough to support tons of game stores. You have to do it at such a massive scale, and when you do it at that scale, you dominate the space, and nobody else can grow in there, so you can't have like a bunch of stores going around supporting a single indie. It's gonna consolidate itself to one store. We're getting way too off into market conversation and how all that works, at least in my opinion, but it's interesting. Stuff like that, in my defense, I think it's very interesting. All right, let's talk Lorcana. 128 has to be under the distribution price, don't you think? I do not believe so. I don't know min-max distribution price details. I don't, and if I did, I would never say it. But as far as general distribution price, what the community has kind of put out there that is distro priced, I don't believe 128 is under the distro price. No, I don't believe. Which is, again, there is opportunity. If this thing were to be $142, there's opportunity for a game store to make money. But now we are on the flip side. Now we're sitting there on the side of, like, why do we have to pay $150 for a set booster box just so the game store can make money? Why is that on us? I get it. I get it. It's 2024. Magic boxes won't cost $100 anymore. That's one of the most frustrating comments I get on the channel. It's like, a box of cards should be $100. It was, 20 years ago. The inflation is a thing. Like, these things happen. It's going to cost more. I don't think that it has to cost this. If you're able to put more money or, skin in the game for the game store, and you can bring this down a couple bucks, $135. I think $135 is something we would willingly pay. And if there's money to be made by the game store at that price, everyone's happy. The ecosystem gets to keep flowing. But nope. Squeeze every penny out of this bad boy. Yoko says distro is under 120 or is around 120. That's Yoko saying that. That is not me. I did not leak that. That is not me. The Baron says the point is to sell through the game store that can run draft events with one product. 100%. It would be nice to run draft events with one product. Totally agree. Greg, 118.75 roughly distro price. Greg, why are you trying to get me banned from games? No, I think you're pretty gosh darn close. I think you're pretty gosh darn close. You might be spot on. Between you and Loco, I think you guys nailed it. Baron says I started playing at 65 a box. How'd you do that? For Magic? How long? I don't remember that. That was before my time. That was before my time, Baron. That was before my time. All right, let's take a look at some of this Lorcana information because we've got some interesting things going on. Oh, whoa. We've got some interesting things going on with Lorcana sets. You guys know. Guess what? It's another week. Another week of the first chapter popping off. Another week of the first chapter selling like crazy. Another week of the first chapter popping off. People just like this product. We're over that arc. We're over that era. That age is done. People just like this product. This is a fun product. People like it. Spoiler alert. Like, it's not a surprise anymore. The draft booster box being the most sold item too says to me that not only do people like it, but people like the pack opening experience. People like chasing down their favorite Disney cards. The idea that you have to open your collection, kind of transferring over from Pokemon, seems like it's very much there, alive and well. This is just a good product at this point. And I'm gonna say it louder for the people in the back because everyone hates. We're a Magic channel. But if you talk about another TCG, everyone just hates it. Everyone's just like, what? No! It's like, this isn't going to replace Magic. It's not going to hurt us Magic fans. My Magic collection is safe. My Magic gameplay experience is safe. Which, by the way, I will be at MTGCon Chicago. I will be playing a ton of Magic. I will be making some content. If you're there, stop by. Try to remind me. As we get closer to the con, remind me. I've got gala greeters to sign and give out. We can greet each other at the gala, and you can get a sweet hometown TCG gala greeters. Let's freaking go. Sorry. Had to be done. A little bit of digression. Maybe I'll bring some of this random, like, old indie TCG product I have and give that out to at the con. If you're at MagicCon Chicago, find me. I'm 6'8". I'm massive. You just wave. Be like, hey, idiot who does the YouTube channel. We hang out. So this is just a good game. But the question is always, like, can the traction keep up? Can it keep going? Can we keep this train alive? And Rise of the Floodborne is doing well. People see Rise of the Floodborne with almost 20,000 units sold on TCG Player. The draft booster box, 5,000 to the last 9,000. The starter deck kits, you know, everything's selling a bit less, obviously, because it's set 2, and it's been on the secondary market for less time. Remember, less time. We've had this product for much longer. You are here, right? If we were to do a compare Rise of the Floodborne to first chapter, you are here. The difference is, I don't think we can expect the next thing that's to come. I don't think this little secondary pump that we got, because we are here, right? But that little secondary pump from the reprint and everything flying to the secondary market and people finally being able to afford boxes, I don't think we see that. So if we check out Rise of the Floodborne, we'll notice a big difference right away as to why we won't see that. And that is, the booster box has already accounted for the fact that it's going to get reprinted. Listen, first chapter. Listen, near end. If members want a signed Gilded Foil Charm, I can make that happen. If you're a channel member and you want a signed Gilded Foil Charm, make sure you reach out to me before the con so I have it with me. I will make that happen. I digress. It's something that was never going to keep up with the first chapter. And just for context, there were times when the first chapter was, I mean, let's just look at the draft booster box and the history of this price. Look at this product. Look at this just absolute pump as the game took off and it was unavailable and the product was not printed properly to the numbers that the community needed. We saw prices upwards 376, 375 as the average prices in the month. These were average prices. These were not all-time highs, just average prices for that month. And then we saw the reprint and things come back down to earth. Rise of the Floodborne will not have that situation going on. The community has decided, hey, Ravensburger was clearly being honest. They were being very upfront with us when they say, we're going to reprint this as much as possible. We're going to reprint it as much as we possibly can. They were being honest, and we are finally believing them. We see that reflected here. We also see that it's just not as powerful or as good of a set. It's not as iconic. It's not as fun. The second release of something is always going to be less popular than the first. Over time, that could change. Over time, that might grow. But we are seeing normal behavior from what I consider to be Rise of the Floodborne. So it's been a very fun follow. I expect this product for Rise of the Floodborne. Let's get into the hot take before we leave the stream today. For Rise of the Floodborne, this product, I don't understand this product. We do not like this product. I thought this product was going to go much better than it did. We do not like this product. Josh Smith says, good morning, everyone. I'm sure you missed it. What are your thoughts on the Carlo Manor spoilers? Real quick, Josh, big shout out, channel member Josh. Channel member Josh makes cardboardfinance.com possible by supporting the channel. My thoughts on Karlov Manor are I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of cards that I'm excited to build around. A lot of cards that I'm excited to play. I don't know if there's anything in it to prop it up from a value perspective and make it feel like this massive event that everyone wants to get involved in. Savannah Lion, hey, good morning. Sorry for being late to the party, Savannah Lion. You are always here hanging out. You don't have to apologize for anything. You apologize for nothing, Savannah Lion. Thank you for hanging out. Karlov and Clue, not for me. Yeah, the Clue set is going to be a weird one. Savannah Lion says, wishing everyone a great day and a smooth weekend. Sold my first chapter for $4.10. Yeah, this first chapter was wild. We'll get back on track here. So this is an interesting kind of case study in this product. I don't understand the value of this product. Somebody brought up the first chapter troves. I think that was Naran. First chapter Trolls, we'll talk about that really quick. This is a product that they have not reprinted, right? They have not reprinted this product. They have said they won't reprint this product. And this is a perfect microcosm because this product doesn't have anything outrageous in the product. There's nothing crazy in this product to make it like, oh my God, I have to have one. However, sealed product collectors, since this has not been reprinted, are like, if I want every sealed product from the first set, I have to pick this up. If I want a memorabilia, something that I think is going to go up in value, something that's reprint protected, even though all the stuff in the box is reprinted, they're looking to this. And we see, like, while it's selling in smaller numbers, the price on this product has just taken off. Just pumped. $188, more than a draft booster box for a trove. It's the Lorcana secondary market, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Last thing I want to check in on before we kind of start to wrap things up, let's take a look at my boy. Let's say, you know what this is? You know what this is? Chat. If you're in chat, tell me if you know what this is. If you're in chat, tell me if you know what this is. I know what this is. Do you know what this is? This is the complete bundle from Phyrexia All Will Be One. And this right here, you see this line? You see this line right here? You see this? You know what this represents? A healthy secondary market. I know. Who could have foreseen this? It's a healthy secondary market with a collectible Magic the Gathering product. This is really cool. This is cool to see. Like, this product just worked. This was a good job. This product just worked. I freaking love it. Ralph, balancing work is fine as balancing work and live stream. But viewers need to remember it's hometown TCG, not hometown MTG. And let's face it, it's good to hear how other TCGs are doing. Yeah, listen, we wanted the opening to talk. We wanted the ability to talk about a lot of things when we started the channel. I have the Magic background. We've talked about indies. And this is something I always want to remember. Good cut. Shout out Ralph. Josh says, a healthy market. How dare you? I know. I have gotten a lot of pushback in comment section because I've made some positive videos a lot. So I know there's a couple of you. Anytime I make a positive video, you're in the comment section. The first one that comes to mind, and this is not to single anyone out or say that anyone here doesn't do this, but it singles out, it just pops up in my mind. Blaze Burger, I think, is the YouTube channel. I don't know, but it's Blaze. Blaze, awesome channel member, and always is like, how dare you make a positive video or always make some funny, sarcastic comment that always makes me giggle. And I'm like, this offsets a lot of the, what are you, a wizard shill? I'm like, no, you have not heard most of the things I've said, mainly about products like this, like Commander Masters. I have ripped this product to shreds. I have been, just mean to this product. I guess before we leave, let's take a look at the Flesh and Blood heavy hitters. So here's the heavy hitter sales numbers, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. There's been 740 boxes total sold. 676 of those are booster boxes. 16 of those are booster cases, which means that we're nowhere near the 1,500. So as TCG player kind of diminishes that sale, keep that in mind that, we're not there. And more importantly, of the 676 boxes that were sold, 614 of them were sold by TCG player. Like 676 boxes total sold, but 614 were not sold by your and my local game store to bring money into their pockets and support their community. 614 of the 676 boxes sold were sold by TCG player. Not by our game stores. By TCG player. And that, to me, that's just a massive miss. I don't know how you keep doing this, especially because it's clearly not boosting your sales on the platform in a meaningful way. Like, it's not pumping your sales on the platform in a meaningful way. You're taking away the sales that could be made by a game store on the platform, and you're forcing out product that people clearly don't want. Like, the Blitz decks have never been a product that's sold well. They've never been the proper use of an intro play product or an intro play device. So I just don't get it. It continues to baffle me. Personally, it looks like the best fab set in a long time. This looks like the best fab set in a long time, but I just don't get it. The Baron of TCGs, the company has been very mean to my friends, and they kind of excommunicated me during the process. They just kind of like stopped. I started getting lower priority spoilers. I was the fastest growing channel left. I was making content almost every single day. I was positive about everything, and they kind of just were like, you're not in the boys club. So they kind of pushed me aside, and I was like, well, you're going to be mean to my friends and push me aside. That's really not something I want to support. So I probably won't do box openings of fab on the channel, in fairness. Just to be very upfront with you, and I'm not even going to say probably. I just can't imagine a scenario where I can't imagine a scenario where I make that happen. So you see, emails to patrons about making up with LSS. People won't be critical of fab, which is a shame. Listen, and that's totally fine. If that's the way that relationship's going to work, more power to both of them. Good for you. That's not how I feel. I've been very clear. I'm Team Rudy. I don't think LSS should have reacted the way that they did in the first place. I think that they've done it before. They did it again. They act that way, and I don't agree with it. But it's not my game company to run. So who am I to say? I'm just an idiot in his basement drinking coffee, talking about trading card games with a bunch of my friends here on stream. So I couldn't ask for a better life. So I don't even bother to get myself all caught up in all that. What's the appeal to Lorcana besides the IP? The appeal to Lorcana besides the IP space is definitely the nature of the game. The idea that you can put a trading card in the hands of someone who would have never experienced a trading card game. Normally, when I make a trading card game and I put all my game mechanics and my cards together and I'm showing you the art and how it's played and the back of the card and how it feels in your hand, I am marketing to a very small subset of humanity. Us people who like trading card games, we are a niche. We are 100% a niche. That is what we are. But when you open the doors to, the Disney IP and Disney storytelling and being able to pull at things that we care about on an emotional level, because whether you or I do, people care about Disney characters and Disney movies on an emotional level. They do. They love them. They have great feelings for them, deep in their soul. And because of this, you get to market your card game to millions and millions more people that you otherwise would have had access to. And by doing so, you have to make sure a couple things are true. You have to make sure that the card is designed in a way that is friendly. So I think Disney Lorcana cards have an extremely succinct and friendly design. You hold a Disney or Lorcana card, it's very easy to understand. The gameplay has a breadth, a depth that you have to have in a card game that you want anyone to be able to pick up, put on a table, and play with, but you also want people to be able to feel rewarded by playing for, the 1,000 hours to mastery or whatever it takes, whatever the new number is now. They've done a good job of that. And while Disney Lorcana will never be the most complex, in-depth, you get the most of bang for your buck when it comes to hardcore competitive play card game, it does a great job of having a wonderful intro experience combined with enough to chew on, where if you decide to play the game more seriously or more competitively, you can really get into that. Also, the cards are beautiful. The art on the cards is iconic. The enchanted cards, the way that they shine, the way they hold, these are all things that speak to a much larger community. So that's what I think would be Disney Lorcana's big advantage over the rest of the space, over the rest of the TCG ecosystem. If that long-winded diatribe answers your question, I don't know why I went on a giant rant there, but that's what I think sets it aside if I had to pick. Savannah Line says, Rudy is a Wall Street wise, but in it for the money. Yeah, and that's totally fine. Another dime a dozen TCG. Again, that's where I think you're off, because it's not speaking to everyone that a dime a dozen TCGs speak to. And we've covered a ton of indies. We've covered a ton of indies, and we love them. Like, we've got sorcery sales data, and I've got, sorcery has drastically slowed, and part of that being, if that's the team covenant information. Again, if you're on cardboardfinance.com, you can check this out for yourself. Shout out to the channel members for really making this possible, for paying for the server fees, but with your membership, for getting the exclusive access and stuff. You guys make this happen. This product speaks to TCG fans and TCG fans only. So they have a hard hill to climb. Lorcana is not a dime a dozen TCG because it opens the door. It's more of a gateway TCG. I think that this product right here created more future Magic players than we will ever realize. Putting trading cards in the hands of a younger generation, this created more Magic or more TCG fans than we'll ever truly realize. But again, that's just my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. Ralph says, I'm so glad Lorcana tanked after the initial short run. Very much a product to get kids in the TCG scene. It doesn't deserve to be overpriced, collectible, and cardboard rectangle. Yeah, 100%. Like, I still have a box left, and I think more. A couple emails out. So I have a box on the shelf, I have a box here. A couple emails out to channel members that have asked. This being accessible is a big deal. This being able to get your hands on this for what Lorcana is a big deal. And they finally made it so, like, hey, you can for the most part get your hands on this product, have some fun with it, because that's what it's meant to be. It's going to be collectible. It's going to do it the right way, and it's going to be in the long term. Again, totally in my opinion. What do I know? I'm in my own freaking basement. The Shishka Barbarian! Missed the hair? What? The hair didn't go anywhere, buddy. The hair went nowhere. It's just, it was a hat morning because it's cold. It's cold in my basement, Shishka Barb. Shishka Barbarian, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Guys, this has been so much fun. I am going to wrap things up. If you were in the stream, give yourself a round of applause. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully we covered everything you guys wanted to talk about today. Disney is a world IP. Whatever they make sells. Yeah, maybe. Miss seeing it. Well, here you go. Here's the hair to end the stream. We'll close out the hair to end the stream. Again, if you haven't yet, make sure you head over to Kitchen Table TCG and check out the May the Zoo Be With You podcast that debuts every single Friday morning. I think you should come here first because we do a live stream, and then you should go watch the May the Zoo Be With You on Kitchen Table TCG. But you know, hey, I'm biased. I have some skin in the game when it comes to this channel, so I'm biased. But thank you guys for hanging out. Make sure you catch today's episode, and thanks for hanging out. Big shout Ralph the Gnome. We saw Devin Mindchan, Shishka Barbarian, Josh Smith, Niran in the chat, Ralph in the chat. I know we saw a ton of channel members. Joff early on in the chat. Thank you so much for, again, your constant support. And because I can't stress this enough, like this site is expensive to run. It's a lot of data constantly going into a vault. I keep shouting out the channel members because it means a lot, because they make this possible. They offset so much of this cost to where I'm paying much less out of pocket now, and I appreciate that. So just drop the kids off at daycare. I watch the podcast when I come home from work. Let's go. Yoko Be Loco, always hanging out. GG's. Savannah Lina, always hanging out. Space, good to see you for the first time today. Baron, always popping in and just chilling on the stream and always giving me your thoughts. Baron, I missed your message. I feel that about Fab. It's a member only. Hard to get new players that way. Yeah, 100%. And that's why I chose, instead of complaining or kicking and screaming about it, I just chose to just kind of let it go. So thank you all so much for hanging out. Until next time, you guys know me. My name is Josh. I hope you have a wonderful freaking weekend. And I owe you guys a couple live streams. So make sure you got that notification bell turned on, because we might go live throughout the week. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Goodbye.